Okay, so 1a, we have 2x plus 72 equals 164. So we don't want to know what 2 times x plus 72 is. We want to know what just x is. So we have to get the x alone. The easiest way to do that is first we're going to get rid of this plus 72. To get rid of the plus 72, we're going to have to do minus 72 on both sides. Oh, 72. So 2x plus 72 minus 72, this is going to cancel out, plus 72 minus 72. And then 164 minus 72, 4 minus 2 is 2, 6 minus 7 can't do it, take from this, make it a 0, 16 minus 7, 9. 2x equals 92. And so we want to get rid of this 2 times x because we just want the x alone. So to get rid of that 2 times x, the opposite of times 2 is divided by 2. So we're going to do divided by 2 both sides. X equals, anyone have this one in their head? 92 divided by 2?
Is 46.
46.
Good. Okay. So that's first answer. Make sure to box your answer. Okay. Next problem. 1b, 420 plus 5x equals 1080. So we want to find out what just one x is. So we're going to have to, yes, Stella?
Instead of 80, you wrote 85.
Oh, what? So first thing we're going to do is get rid of this 420 because easiest thing for us to do. It's not attached to the variable. So the opposite, and you guys might be confused like, oh, is this a plus or minus? Well, if there's no sign there, then it's a plus. So the opposite of plus 420 is minus 420. And so we're going to do that to both sides. So plus 420 minus 420 cancels out. 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 2 is 6. 0 minus 4, can't do that. 10 minus 4 is 6. So we have 5 times x equals 660. And we want, to get this x just alone. So the opposite of times 5 is divided by 5. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. And so we have to do 660 divided by 5. 5 goes into 6, 1. 6 minus 5 is 1. Drop the 6. 5 goes into 16 3 times. 16 minus 15 is 1. Drop the 10. Or the 0. 5 goes into 10 twice. Remainder 0. So x, so 660 divided by 5 is x equals 132. Great. Oh, and let me draw that bar model since I kind of forgot to do that. This equals 132. So on one side of the equation, we have 420 plus 5x. So this is what's on the inside of the bar model. So let me go ahead and draw that. Here's the bar. We have 5 x's plus 420. So that means we're going to have 6 boxes, 5 x's and another box. So, boop. And I'll just write the x's in 5 of the box, x, 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 and then the last box is 420. And then on the other side is what goes for the whole thing, because all of that all equals 1080. So we draw that model. Okay, next. Let's look at 2. Joey has been saving money. This coming Saturday, he will earn $25. And then next Tuesday, he will earn $10. After that, he will have just enough money to buy a bicycle for $109. How much has Joey saved so far? So he's been saving money, so he starts off with some amount. Does anyone know how much he starts off with? Not yet, right? So we're going to have a x, because I don't know what that is. Yes, Stella?
Since we're writing it over again on a piece of paper, do we need to write the equation problem?
Yes, do everything I'm doing.
No,
Yep,
I meant
yep.
the problem.
No. You can, but that's not a terribly important question. It's okay. Just solve it along with me if you can. So we have some amount X plus $25 plus $10 equals $109. I'm going to draw the bar model just so you guys can see it. Split into three things. We have an X, we have a 25, we have a 10, and then that all adds up to 109. Okay, so we can simplify this. 25 plus 10, we know that. So X plus $35 equals $109. And so the opposite of plus 35 or positive 35 is minus 35. So we're going to do minus 35 to both sides because we want to get the X all alone. So 9 minus 5 is 4. Can't do 0 minus 3. So 10 minus 3 is 7. X equals $74.
Very
What?
25. You mistook 25 for 30.
He added 25 plus 10, which equals 35.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
That's all right. Okay, so we have X equals $74. And then I would prefer you guys to write out the answer when if you were doing a test, a written test. Okay, last example. A pack of 5 light bulbs cost $7.50. What would 8 light bulbs cost? I actually kind of want to show you guys a trick to doing this. But anywho, if we write this equation down, we can actually, I'll draw a model as well, just so you guys can see it. 5 light bulbs cost $7.50, so we're gonna have 5 boxes in here. We don't know how much each one is, so just X. And they all add up to $7.50. So how we could write this equation is 5x equals $7.50. And so in order to solve for this, we want to get the x alone. So the opposite of times 5 is divided by 5. So we're going to divide both by 5. And when we are dividing a decimal, we don't have any special rules, right? 5 goes into 7 once. 7 minus 5, 2. Drop the 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5. Drop the 0. 5 goes into 0 0 times. 0. Okay, and so last step for dividing by a decimal is we're going to raise the decimal straight up as long as we were following it. And so our answer is each, x equals $1.50, but that's not what the question is asking for. The question is asking for how much 8 light bulbs would cost. So all we would have to do is, if 1 light bulb is $1.50, then 8 light bulbs is 8 times that. $1.50 times 8. 8 times 0, 0. 8 times 5, 40. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4, 12. Great, and then we count in how many times we have to put the decimal. So this one is 1, 2 spaces, and this one is 0 spaces. So we move in 1, 2 spaces, and our answer is $12. Make sure you remember your unit of measurement. $12. And I want to show you guys another really quick way to do this. You're doing exactly the same. I just want to show you the trick. So we know that 5 light bulbs is $7.50. So 5 out of 5 light bulbs is $7.50. $7.50. If we paid for 5 light bulbs and we bought 5 light bulbs, the cost of 5 out of 5 light bulbs is $7.50. Now they're asking us what the cost of 8 light bulbs is. So that's going to be 3 more boxes, right? 3 more boxes. Well, all we have to do is add the amount of boxes we're adding to the top. So we're doing 3 out of 5, and we're adding 3 more. So we're going to add 3 to this 5 on top. We used to have 5 out of 5, right? 5 out of 5 is $7.50. But if we want to know all of them, we want these 5 plus these 3. So we don't want 5 out of 5. We want 8 out of 5. And so if we wanted to find out what all this is, instead of multiplying by the cost of 1, we can multiply by the cost of the whole thing. $7.50. And I'll go over this one more time later, and this might be a little bit confusing now, but if you think about it, we're actually doing the same thing. When we did our problem, we did 5x equals $7.50. We divided both sides by 5, right? Just like we're doing here. And then we multiplied that number by 8, which is exactly what we're doing here. We're doing the same exact steps. So I'll go over this next. You know, maybe it'll make more sense the next time, okay? Or the next problem. There's another problem like this. So those are those 3. Okay. So now we have 4A, solve the problems, mark the given numbers in the model, mark what is not known with a question mark. Okay. So we have 4A as our first problem. Ava and Jane canned a total of 137 liters of peaches. Jane canned 45 more liters than Ava. How many liters did Ava can? Well, for one, we know that both of them had a total of 137. So if this is one person and this is another person, their total is going to be 137. And make sure we have our unit of measurement. So that is liters. To write liters, you just do a capital L. And so it says Jane canned 45 more liters than Ava. So that's going to be the longer one because she canned more. So I'll write Jane. And then the other one is Ava. And so if Jane canned 45 more liters than Ava, that means that this number that we added, the number that's longer, is going to be a 45. And then these two green are going to be the same, because if Jane canned 45 more than Ava, that means that if she didn't can those extra 45, then they'd have the same amount of cans. So both of these green are the same number. We know that because they're the same amount. That's what the question told us. And we're going to put a question mark in it because we don't know. But we do know that they are the same. So if we wanted, we could just like write a variable in there. We know that they're the same. And that's why we're able to use our variable tricks. Okay, so now how do we do this? Well, we know that on one side of the equation is what the total is. So I'll write that, 137 liters. And then on the other side of the equation is everything else. So we know we have a 45. And then we also have 2 question marks, or 2 x's. And how can we write 2x?
2x.
2x. Yeah, exactly. 2x. And this is going to be a plus sign because 2x plus 45 equals the whole thing, 137. Okay. Whoop. Okay, now to start solving the problem. We've solved this problem like a million times. So we have 2 times some number x plus 45. We want to get the x all alone, so we're going to get rid of this plus 45. The opposite of plus 45 or positive 45 is minus or negative 45. We have to make sure to do that to both sides because we're balancing the equation. It has to be balanced. Plus 45 minus 45, nothing. 7 minus 5 is 2. 3 minus 4, can't do that. 13 minus 4, 9. And then make sure we have our unit of measurement, liters. So 92 liters. And then we're going to drop whatever's left on the other side. So that's 2x. Everyone make sure you're writing this down. Good, good. Okay. And then we don't want to know what 2 times x is. We want to know what just 1 x is. So to get rid of the times 2, we'll do the opposite of times 2, which is divided by 2. Good. And then x equals, and anyone know this one in their head?
46.
We did this exact problem. Yep, 46. And make sure you have your unit of measurement. And now I just want to make sure, sometimes the x is not our answer. So just make sure, students, make sure that the question is asking for x. And it's asking how many liters did Ava can? Ava canned x liters. So this is our answer. I could just write that. Ava, oh, I spelled Ava wrong. Ava canned 46 liters of peaches. Great, next question. 4B. So Jay and Joe each built a raft. Jay's raft was only 2/3 as long as Joe's. So, yeah, Joe's raft was 1 meter longer than Jay's. How long was each raft? You guys might have slightly different numbers, but it's the same. Same concept, just follow along. So first, we know we have 2 bar models. We want to find out whose is bigger, right? So we know Jay's raft was only 2/3 as long as Joe. That means it's smaller. 2/3 is only 2 out of 3, so that's smaller. And you guys see this green graph, this green bar is exactly 2/3 as long as the blue bar. So that tells us it's Jay's. And then the other one has to be Joe. I can just write J and Joe like that. Okay, so we know that Joe's raft, so this is Joe's raft, the blue one. Joe's raft was 1 meter longer than Jay's. So this is the longer part, right? This is the extra part. And we know it's 1 meter. To write meter, the unit of measurement for meter is a little m. Okay, and then it says, how long was each raft? So we need to make sure to answer for both rafts. So, well, we know that if this Joe's raft is split into 3 equal parts, right? And if 1/3 of the part is 1 meter long, then that means the other 2/3 of a part are also 1 meter long. These 3 are the same size. If I have 3 slices of pizza that are all the same size, that means all the pizzas are the same size. Each piece is 1/3. So if this one block is 1 meter, then this one block is also 1 meter, and this one block is also 1 meter. That's kind of the definition of what a third is. If I have a third of something is 1 meter, well, that means all 3 of them, right? Because a third plus a third plus a third, 1 meter plus 1 meter plus 1 meter is 3 meters. So we actually already know the answer for Joe. Joe's entire raft is 3 meters long. We already know that. We didn't even have to do any math. And then it says Jay's raft is only 2/3 as long as Joe. Well, I can actually figure out what 2/3 of 3 meters is easy. 2/3 as long as Joe, so I could write that. Jay's raft is equal to 2/3 times Joe's. How long is Joe's raft? You figured that out right here. That would be 3 meters. So we could just multiply that. 3 meters times 2/3. What is 2/3 of 3 meters? Well,
2/3 of 3 meters. 2 meters.
Absolutely. So 2/3, and so we're doing times 3 meters. And if we're multiplying fractions, we could just make sure that this 3 is in fraction form, so it's easier for us. 3 is the same as 3 divided by 1. They're the same because 3 divided by 1 is 3. Good. So now we're just going to multiply the top numbers. 2 times 3 is 6, and the bottom numbers, 3 times 1 is 3. Great. And then we can simplify that. 6 divided by 3 is 2 meters. You guys see there's multiple ways that we can solve this. Another way I could solve it is just say, oh, look, 2/3. Oh, 1 meter and another meter. Oh, okay. That's probably the easier way, but that's okay. So for our answer, we need to make sure to write down both the length of both rafts. Joe's raft is 3 meters long, while Jay's raft is 2 meters long. Great. Okay, last question on this here page is, I ended up kind of just moving it here. So I'll just write this. 4B is here, and then this is going to change into 4C. Okay. Bill was driving from home to his grandparents' farm. After 112 kilometers, he stopped to get petrol. After another 35 kilometers, he was at the halfway point. Oh, that tells us something important. That tells us that 112 plus 35 is equal to half of the total. And so I could actually start filling this in. I know that this is the halfway point on my bar model, right? So on this half is going to be 112. And I'm going to try to write my unit measurement, km for kilometer. And then the other one is 35 km. And we know that's half. We don't know what the total is right now, but we know 112 kilometers plus 35 kilometers is half. Now here's the problem. How can we write down half of a number we don't know? How can we write that down?
Valuable.
That's variable. Yes, a variable.
So, yeah, I'm going to ask one more time. So if the total, I'm going to use the variable t for the total. If the total is t, what can I write down to represent half the total?
Gotta add 1.
H.
Not a different variable. I want to use t, but how am I going to change it? Is it
112 plus 135, and then we multiply
Gotta
2 to get t.
I'm trying to write an equation. So here, let's
112.
look. 112 kilometers, and you guys are on the right track. I'm just trying to show you the equation. 112 kilometers plus 35 kilometers. We know that these two don't equal t. I can't write t because 112 kilometers plus 35 kilometers is only half of t. So what can I add to this equation to make it true, to make it right?
You
The other side.
addition side and parentheses.
Oh, so you guys are trying to do this, which technically works, but the better way to write it would be like this. 112 kilometers plus 35 kilometers equals t divided by 2. When we solve our problem, you are going to take this 2 and end up multiplying it by this anyways, but this would be the better way to write it. And that's how I'm going to write out my bar graph, because half of t divided by 2, half of t is equal to this. Great, okay, and actually now we can solve for this. We can solve for t using this equation. So 112 kilometers plus 35 kilometers, let's find out what that is. 112 plus 35, 741 kilometers. Okay, so we know that 112 kilometers plus 35 kilometers is 147 kilometers.
That's half of t.
147 kilometers equals t divided by 2. And actually, this might look a little bit tricky, but this is kind of the same as we've always been doing. We don't want to know what t divided by 2 is. We want to know what just t is. So the opposite of divided by 2 is...
Multiply.
Exactly. Multiply by 2. So we'll multiply both sides by 2. We get 147 times 2. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 2 times 1 is 2 kilometers. And so total equals 294 kilometers. Great. So I'm going to write that. T equals 290. Now here's the thing. 294 kilometers. Let's just make sure before we box our answer and say, oh yes, we did all the work and we did it all right. Let's just make sure that it's asking for what t is. And it says, how many kilometers is it from his home to his grandparents' farm? Oh, that's the total, and the total is t. So great. You could write the sentence, it's fine. You guys are taking the test online, so you can't really write a sentence. All righty, so we have one more page. Okay. Ooh, we're almost done. That's exciting. So we have question number 5. Dad gave $175 to his 2 sons, Austin and Brandon, so that Brandon got 37 more than Austin. How much did Austin get? Oh, this time we don't have a bar model, so we're going to have to make our own. So we know that we have 2 bar models, Austin and Brandon, right? They both got some money. So Austin, Brandon. And so we know that both of them are the same, except for one is longer or larger than the other. So who gets the larger model? Yeah, good, Brandon, because he got the same as Austin plus 37. So that tells us a lot of information. we know that they got the same, and then also Brandon got 37. So that means we're going to draw a bar for both of them. That's the same length. And then, so this is the same number. They got the same. And then Brandon got 37 more than Austin. So Brandon's going to also get extra long, and he's going to get 37. And make sure to have your unit of measurement. So $37. So I have my dollar sign as my unit of measurement for this case. Okay, and so now we don't know how much they both got, right? Because we're trying to find out how much Austin got, and Austin got the same as Brandon originally. We don't know what these numbers are, but we know they're the same. And since they're the same, we can use a variable to represent them. They're the same amount. And then the last thing we need is the total, which is going to be on the other side of our equal sign. And it said Dad gave $175. So the total is $175. And so now let's go ahead and rewrite this as an equation. On one side of our equation, we're going to have the total. So that's going to be $175. And that's all equal to, right, because he split it all up, so the total is all equal to 175, is how many x's we have? We have 2 x's. X plus x equals 2 times x. So 2 x's plus, and then we have our money here, $37, plus $37. And that is the whole left side, 2 x's plus $37. Okay, and so we want to find out what x alone is. So we're going to get rid of this plus 37, and the opposite of positive 37 is negative 37. Or the opposite of plus 37 is minus 37, same thing. So we got to do it to both sides. So plus 37 minus 37 cancel out. 5 minus 7 can't do it. Take from the 7, make it a 6, 15. And so 15 minus 7 is?
8.
8, good. 6 minus 3 is 3, making sure my students are paying attention. 1 minus 0 is 1. Good, and make sure we have our unit of measurement. That's good. And then on the left side, we still have the 2x. So we're going to have 2 times x equals, 2 times x is equal to $138. And so now to get rid of this times 2, we're going to, the opposite of times 2 is divided by 2, divided by 2. So 138 divided by 2. 2 goes into 1 0 times. Drop the 3. 2 goes into 13 6 times. 13 minus 12 is 1. Drop the 8. 2 goes into 18 9 times. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 minus 18 is 0. Great. So x is equal to $69. Remember our unit of measurement. And so let's just make sure before we write down our question and go, yes, we did it all right. Let's make sure that this is what they're asking for. So we know that Austin's amount is $69. We know Brandon's original amount was $69. And they're asking, how much did Austin get? And see, in our bar model, we show that Austin got x. And x is equal to 69. So Austin got, I'm going to use green for it, $69. Great.
And Brandon got $106.
Good. They should have asked for both of them. All righty. So let's see if we can go ahead and solve this next problem. Problem number 6. Running so low on room. A video camera is on sale with a 1/4 off of the normal price of $364. What is the discounted price?
Video game.
That's one expensive video game or video camera. So I'm actually going to draw the bar model here just because you're kind of running out of space. So for this, I'm going to draw 2 bar models so I could better show it, okay? I'm going to make this bar model bigger. So I'm going to draw 2 bar models to show it. Okay, so I'm going to make the bottom one be actually, I can make the top one be the old price. That's fine. Old. So I'll just write old for old price or old money. And so we know that the old price was how much? Do we know how much the old price was? Or the normal price?
No.
Yeah, we do.
Oh.
Yeah, we do.
It says a video camera is on sale. A video camera is on sale, a 1/4 off the normal price. I'll write normal just so I don't confuse you guys. Normal price. And so we know that the whole bar model, this entire bar, is equal to 364. This whole thing is equal to 364. And the new price, I'm going to write the discount here, discount money. This discount money it used to be the same as 364. That would be the whole thing, 364, but we have a fourth off. Okay, so if we're taking a fourth away from something, how many times are we going to split up this discount?
Four.
Yeah, so we're going to split it into 4 parts. And so make sure you split into 4 parts. And the reason for that is because if we have some number, right, let's just say 5, minus a fourth, right? Because we're doing minus a fourth, minus 1 over 4. Remember, if we're trying to find the answer to this, we can't just do 5 minus 1 equals 4 and then nothing minus 4. That's not how it works for adding and subtracting fractions. We have to find a common denominator. So, both of these will turn to 4. And then 5 times 4 would be 20. And 1 time, oh, this isn't going to change. Boop. And so then we can do our problem. And so what I'm showing you is since we're taking away a fourth, we're going to be splitting it into 4 pieces because then it's easy to take away 1/4. If we have 4 equal pieces, then it's easy to take away 1/4. But we can't take away 1/4 if we have 5 equal pieces or 6 equal pieces. So we need to make sure that it's split into 4. And it says that it's 1/4 off. So I'm going to shade in how much we're paying for it. We're only paying this much. And in fact, we can actually solve this very quickly. Very, very quickly. Because we're trying to find out what 3/4 of the normal price is, right? And so I'm going to do it the long way and the short way just so it's very clear the 2 ways to do it, okay? There's 2 ways to do it, the long way and the short way. So I'm going to do the long way first, the way that we've been doing together. This is the long way. So the long way is we want to find out how much each box is, right? I don't need that. We want to find out how much is in each box, right? And so to find out how much is in each box, you know, how much each X is, if we know what one of the X's is, then we can multiply it by whatever number we want and find out how many 5X's is or 2X's is or 3X's is, right? We're trying to find out how many 3X's is. But first we have to find out how many 1X's. So in order to find out how much 1X is, well, I could use one of my bar models. And I know that the normal price, 4X's, is equal to 364. I know that. Because, you know, the whole cost of the price is equal to 364. And I split it into 4 groups because we're getting rid of one of the groups. And so by splitting it into 4 groups, I could try to find what that one group is. So anywho, to find the normal price, we can just set up the equation. On one side of the equation, we have 4X. And on the other side of the equation, we have $364. To solve this, we could do divided by 4. And so whatever 364 divided by 4 is equal to the price of 1X. And if we know the price of 1X, we could find out everything else. 4 goes into 3 0 times. 3 minus 0 is 3. Drop the 6. 4 goes into 36 9 times. 9 times 4, 36. Nothing. Drop the 4. 4 goes into 4 1 time. Remainder 0. So we have X equals $91. Remember our unit of measurement. Remember though, this question is not asking for what X is. It's asking for the discounted price. And the discounted price is 3 X's, right? So for our final answer, we would multiply this number by 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 9 is 27. And so this would be our discounted price, okay? But I'm also going to show you a more simple way to do it, all right? And so it might take a bit to get used to, but this is the better way to do it if you understand. So what we just did to find out the price is we did the whole price, 364, and then we divided it by 4 to find out what 1 box is, and then we multiplied it by 3 to find out what 3 boxes is, right? So we had 4 boxes, 4 boxes is 364. We divided by 4 to find 1 box, and then we multiplied by 3 to find how many 3 boxes are. So the easier way to do this, I'm not going to do it all over again, but is if we want to find out what 3/4 of 364 is, we could just do 364 times 3/4. And I just want you guys to notice we are doing the same exact steps. If we do 364 times 3/4, the steps will be first, we multiply by 3, then we divide by 4. And that is exactly what we're doing with our other problem. We did 364, except we just did it, different steps. 364 in the long way, we did divided by 4 first, and then we multiplied by 3. But that's the same as doing $364 times 3 divided by 4. It's the same. So maybe that made sense, maybe it didn't. We'll keep going over it next time. All right, time for, let me make sure I have my answer. Yeah, discount equals 200. I'm going to write discount price. There we go. Discount price equals $273. Okay, finally, we're at our last problem. So, I'm actually... Yep.
What do we do after we finish this?
We'll go over that. Just wait till we're done. One thing at a time, right? Okay, so we have 3/4 of the chess club. Hey, we can use my trick. We're going to use my trick. 3/4 of the chess club members are 18 years of age or older. How about I draw a bar model? I know that this, if I draw a whole thing, I'll draw it. If I draw, nope, no shouting out the answer. If I draw the whole model, this entire bar is equal to the amount of total chess players. Total players. This is the whole chess player. Okay, and so we know that 3/4 of the chess players are 18 years of age or older. Okay, so I'm going to split it into 4 groups because when it says 3/4, it says 3 groups out of 4 total groups. So I have to split it into 4 total groups. That's what the 4th tells us. And then 3/4, 3 groups out of the 4 are 18 years older. So let me use a different color. I'll use pink. I don't know. Pink. So 1 group of 4, 2 group of 4, 3 group of 4. Okay. So this is how many are 18 or older. And so we have, if 69 members are 18 or older, okay, so we actually know how many this is, so I'll write that down. 69, right? 69. So we know that 3/4 of the total players is equal to 69. Okay, great. So if 69 members are 18 or older, how many members does the club have? So Mr. Bear is going to do this the long way and the easy way again. Okay, so let's do it the long way first. So how can I write this problem? Well, all we actually need to do is find out what one of these x's are, right? See, every single one of these x's, all these boxes are equal, so we can assign a variable to them. All 4 of these boxes are exactly the same size. The reason we know that they're the same size is because it said that we have a whole box that is 3/4. And if we have a fraction, right, the bottom is how many groups it's split into, and those are even groups. Each of these 4 groups are the same number. Great. Okay. And we want to find out how much the total is. So this whole total is equal to, I'll write x because we don't know. Oh, no. Well, I can't write x. This is what we're trying to find out. So I'm just going to write a question mark. We can't write x because that wouldn't make sense. 4x does not equal x. So I'm just going to write a question mark because that's what we're trying to find out. So the first way we could do this is we could find out how much one of the boxes are. And so we know that 3 boxes is equal to 69. And so we could write that as an equation. 3 boxes, 3x, is equal to 69, right? And that's what the problem told us. It said that 69 members are 18 or older, right? And 3/4 of the total, yeah, so 3x is equal to 69, and we can solve for x. This would be the normal way I would tell you guys to solve it. So in order to find x, we can, the opposite of times 3 is divided by 3, divide by 3. So who knows this one off the top of their head? 3 goes into 9 3 times, 3 goes into 60 20 times. So I just do that one in my head real quick. So that's how much 1x is. This one doesn't have units of measurement. I mean, like people, I don't know. Now, we want to know not how many one box is. How many boxes do we want to find out? How many boxes?
All 4.
All 4, yes. So if one box is 23, 4 boxes would be 4 times that. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Great. So our answer, I'm just going to write 92 members. Oh, now I'll just write like this. This is the total amount in the chess club. There are 92 members. Oh boy. Members in the chess club. Okay. So I'm just going to show you one more way to do it. And if it's still confusing, that's all right. We're going to keep going over it in future lessons, okay? But it's literally the same math. You're doing the same math, except it's just easier to write it, maybe. Okay, so we know that 3 out of 3 boxes is equal to 69. 3 out of 3 boxes is equal to 69. Okay, we know that. Now, all we want to do is add one more box. Okay, one more box. So, how can we write that as a fraction? Well, we know that 3 boxes is 3 out of 3. So 1 box would be?
1 box would be 23.
Oh, well, we know that, but I'm trying to set up a different equation. All right, so I'm actually going to set up a different equation, kind of like we're starting this problem all from scratch. We know that 3 out of 3 is equal to 69. And so this box, this 1 box, is equal to how many out of 3 boxes? Is this box equal to 2 out of 3 boxes? Is it equal to 3 out of 3 boxes? Or is it equal to 1 out of 3 boxes?
1 out of 3.
Yes, this 1 box is equal to 1 out of 3 boxes. And so, if I want to know how many is in 3 out of 3 boxes plus 1 out of 3 boxes, what would my new fraction be? 3 out of 3 boxes plus 1 out of 3 boxes.
4 out of 3.
Yes, correct. When we're adding fractions, as long as they have the same common denominator, they're both out of 3, then we just add them, right? We add the top, 3 plus 1 is 4, and then the bottom stays the same. 3, yeah, because it's common. So we don't want to know how much 3 out of 3 boxes is. We already know that. 3 out of 3 boxes is 69. We want to know what 4 out of 3 boxes are. So we're going to do 4 out of 3, and then what are we multiplying it by? Well, we're going to multiply it by the value of our 3 out of 3 boxes, because if we did 3 out of 3 times 69, what would that be? 69 times 3 is going to get 3 times bigger. Then divided by 3 is going to get 3 times smaller, and nothing's going to happen. 3 out of 3 times 69 is 69, because 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 1 times 69 is 69. It's itself. But if we want to do the trick, if we did 69 times 4 out of 3, this is going to be, we already know 69 times 3 out of 3 is 69, but with that 4 out of 3, we're actually going to be adding, this is the same as 69, 3 out of 3, plus 69 times 1 out of 3. You guys see how these are both the same. 4 over 3 times 69 is the same as 3 over 3 times 69 plus 1 over 3 times 69. And we know 3 over 3 times 69 is equal to 69. I'll just use a calculator to show you guys real quick. If I have the number 69 times 3 divided by 3 is back to 69 because the times 3 and divided by 3 cancel out. So we have 3 out of 3 times 69 is equal to 69 plus 1 out of 3 times 69. The reason why this works, the 1 out of 3 times 69, is because we want to know what one more box is. And to find out what one more box is, we would just do 69 divided by 3, right? And that is exactly what we're doing here. 69 times 1 over 3 is the same as 69 divided by 3, because it goes 69 times 1 divided by 3. So when we do a third of 69, that tells us what x is. Our x is 23, and we did a bunch of math to calculate that. But yeah, so anywho, plus 1/3 of 69 is 23, and that gives us our answer. That adds up to the answer that we got, which is, wherever I wrote it, 92. Great. So I'm going to make sure to box my answer, and this is where I'm going to put a pin in the video, all right? So, great.